Pete Davidson slams Ariana Grande.
Charlotte Awbery debunks fake claims.
And Harry Styles speaks out on his recent robbery.
All that and more on today's Daily Hollywood Rundown. Hello everybody, welcome to today's episode of the Daily Hollywood Rundown. I'm Sussan Morad.
And I'm Emile Ennis Jr. If you watched yesterday's episode, you know we talked about the fact that a few weeks ago, or I guess it was last week on You're So Clever, the DHR thing. People didn't know what it meant, and we pointed out yesterday, it's right here. Then somebody in the comments yesterday pointed out that it's actually on our desk as well. It says Daily Hollywood Rundown. So I'm just figuring out all these facts that we didn't know before.
I knew that was there.
I didn't know that. I mean, I can't see in front of the desk, but also it's Wednesday, which means it's hump day, which means grab the nearest thing next to you and hum.
Emile, that's a little bit rude.
Just kidding. It means nothing, guys, and we're so grateful you're here, though, on this special hump day. Why, Susan?
Because it means absolutely nothing, but it means so much on today's episode of the Daily Hollywood Rundown because we have so much tea to get into. But before we get into all the tea, you know the drill. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notifications bell, and leave us comments to be featured in You're So Clever.
Yes.
Don't ask us about the whole DHR thing again,
Please don't. But do ask us about what's going on with Kim Kardashian and Kourtney, or maybe I should ask you because I really want to know.
Yeah, so we've got some tea on that. We might have spent 17 seasons being entertained by the same family, but rest assured, there's about to be a whole lot of drama for the next season. The E! Network announced on Tuesday that Keeping Up with the Kardashians Season 18 will premiere on March the 26th, with the show now moving to a new time slot on Thursday nights instead of the usual Sunday nights. Now for the drama. In the 30-second sneak peek, fans are gifted with Kourtney's attitude, Khloe's baby daddy drama, Kendall's wisdom, and apparently Kim's powerful punch. Clearly, tensions have only seemed to get worse since last season, as the most shocking part of the clip comes when Kim starts an actual physical fight altercation with Kourtney after she threw a boxed water at Kim, which prompted her to spring into action and lunge at Kourtney after a fight got out of hand.
You've nothing to say. Don't ever come at me like that.
Buttons have been pushed. From the clip, it seems that Kourtney is potentially the cause of most of the tension, as she and Khloe are also seen exchanging a few words in the clip. In another scene, Khloe asks Kourt, "Why do you have to have an attitude?" when Kourtney responds with, "Just don't involve yourself in business that is not yours." To which Khloe quipped back with, "Then don't talk about it in front of me." Kendall also seems to get dragged into the drama, although we're not exactly sure whose drama and whether or not she decides to stay neutral, which honestly might be the smartest decision. Fans were living for yet another Kim Kardashian throwdown, as you might recall that purse-flinging scene from an old episode of Keeping Up. In case you need to refresh your memory, one fan recalled the throwback Keeping Up with the Kardashians gem.
Don't be rude. Are you kidding me? I swear to God, don't be rude and throw the thing on me. I'll hurt you. Don't do that.
Oh my God! The fan commented on the YouTube clip saying, "Kim's form has gotten better than her purse-flinging days." We will never forget that moment. Last season, fans were given an inside look at Kim and Khloe's issues with Kourtney not pulling her weight when it comes to filming the show, which caused them to film overtime in her absence. Something tells us the upcoming feuds might have something to do with Kourtney's decision to step back from the show. I just found that video clip really funny.
It was really funny.
I know, like I shouldn't be saying that out loud because like they were getting into a fight and no one should fight and nobody should be physical with anyone, especially their siblings. But just seeing Kim like going for it, and then it reminded me again of that.
Somebody, I mean, if you're a boxer or MMA fighter, you should fight because that's your career. But I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
I feel like it's bad laughing, but it's...
I don't think it's bad, but I do feel, I don't know how I feel about it moving to Thursday nights. I like watching Keeping Up on Sunday nights. Like I watch it before I go to bed and I come to Clevver the next day. But Thursday nights, it just feels like a weird...
I wonder what that's all about, yeah.
Probably a ratings thing, but we'll have to see how it turns out. All right, so we have to talk about one of our favorite people right now, Charlotte Awbery. So, or do you say Awbery?
Awbery.
Awbery. You can blur it. Anyway, she's amazing. So if you don't know who we're talking about, she is taking the world by storm. I can't talk today. By storm. Because a star is born. Storm. Anyway.
Oh, a storm is coming.
Oh God, let me just get into the story. So the short clip of her impromptu singing of Shallow in the subway station has gone so viral. If you don't know what we're talking about, internet prankster and comedian Kevin Freshwater took to the streets of London to film a Finish the Lyrics challenge. Now Kevin started singing Bradley Cooper's part of Shallow from A Star is Born. He then pointed the microphone towards this woman walking by.
Keep going.
Well, since then, we've learned more about Charlotte, and there's been a lot of talk about whether or not this viral moment is real or fake. Now, of course, it's hard to believe that the universe just happened to let Kevin and Charlotte cross paths, but she's been waiting for this moment and seized the opportunity when presented because she is an actual singer who has been working on her craft for over 15 years. Anyway, Ellen, of course, had Charlotte on her show, and Charlotte first performed Shallow. Okay, before we continue, her voice gives me chills, and I love that she's having this moment. Anyway, Ellen starts her interview by asking her if it was staged, and she responds and shuts down the rumors in the cutest way.
I was literally on my way to meet my friend.
To meet your friend?
Yes.
Okay, so he puts a mic.
Sorry, I'm so blown away that I'm actually sitting next to you. This is, honestly, I'm absolutely overwhelmed with all of this.
Yeah, we can't imagine what's going through her mind after going viral so fast, but there are so many cute moments from this interview, including her learning that 60 million people have seen the video, including another famous singer.
You've gone from 4,000 to 400,000 followers on Instagram, and one of them is Ariana Grande.
I followed her back.
Yeah.
Glad to know that Ari likes it too, but Ellen also had Kevin Freshwater in the audience, and he talked about getting emotional while watching her perform. But at the end of the interview, Ellen not only surprised Charlotte with a free year on the London Tube, but she also gave her 10,000 pounds, and her reaction was so genuine.
What?
So.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I love this so much.
It makes me so happy. I think it really does feel, I think it's, excuse me. It's like a full circle moment though, in all seriousness, because it's like she's singing the song from A Star is Born, and she literally, it's like a star is born right before our eyes. Excuse me, I need a moment.
I need a moment.
Where's the tissue?
All right, we've got ourselves together. Moving on to our next story. You might recall that last week we shared some really terrifying news that Harry Styles was robbed at knife point. Thankfully, he was okay. And now Harry Styles is actually speaking out on the incident. To give you a quick recap, the world was shocked to learn that while Harry was out in the Hampstead area of London on February the 14th, he was approached by a man with a knife and threatened to hand over his money. The Metropolitan Police revealed to E! News that they were investigating reports of a knife point robbery, and although the case is still ongoing, no arrests have been made. Fans were shaken up as they heard the news, as Harry never disclosed what happened and even performed at the 2020 Brit Awards just 2 days later. We're so glad to hear he wasn't physically harmed following the incident, but how is Harry actually doing? Thankfully, he assured fans that he was hanging in there during an appearance on NBC's Today Show earlier this morning. When asked about the robbery, Harry told co-host Carson Daly, quote, "I'm okay, thanks, thank you, thanks for asking." We absolutely respect that Harry didn't want to talk too much about the incident and respect his privacy at this time, also considering he was also hit with the terribly sad news that TV host Caroline Flack, his ex-girlfriend, took her own life just hours after Harry was robbed. Harry even showed up to the Brit Awards wearing a black ribbon pinned to his suit, generally used to symbolize someone in mourning. Harry seemed in much higher spirits though during his appearance on the Today Show this morning, as he performed 3 of his hits, including Adore You, Watermelon Sugar and Kiwi, and also gushed about his growing friendship with Lizzo.
I think she's such a great artist. I think if, as a fan, what you want artists to be is themselves, and I think she is someone who is just herself, and she makes amazing music, and it's really feel good, and I think that's what a lot of people need right now.
He also announced that he'll be performing on Halloween weekend in Madison Square Garden in a show he calls Harryween.
To go with the album, of course, you're out on tour, and
Yes.
you've got a big announcement that these fans are going to love today.
Yeah, we're going to be playing the Halloween weekend at Madison Square Garden.
I think they like it.
October 30th and 31st. We're calling it Harryween.
Oh, I like that.
See?
Is this going to
See
be?
what happened?
Oh, and if you're wondering whether or not he'll be dressing up, you better believe he will. And as for the question we've all been asking as to whether there might be a Lizzo and Harry collaboration on the cards, this is what he said.
Maybe.
Oh, we hope so.
So glad to hear that Harry is doing okay. He obviously didn't want to talk too much about it, and we completely respect his privacy there, but we're just happy that he's doing well. And I'm so excited about all these like potential collaboration with Lizzo. I think we're in for like a pretty good chance. Like maybe he's like a really big maybe.
We have a lot to be excited about. All right, but we have to move on to Pete Davidson. Now, if you haven't watched already, Pete Davidson has a new Netflix special. It's called Alive from New York, and it has a lot of people talking for many reasons. I mean, it is Pete Davidson.
Yeah.
But specifically, a lot of people talking about what he said regarding Ariana Grande. And boy, we're gonna spill the tea. Now, of course, you know at one point, Ariana Grande and Pete Davidson were engaged. That obviously is no longer, but he had a lot to say regarding their relationship. Ariana has talked about Pete before in her song, Thank You Next, and in her interviews, but Pete says the reason he feels it's okay to make jokes about Ari in his special is because a friend told him that they heard, quote, that Ariana said she had no idea who you were and she just dated you as a distraction. So Pete let the audience know he has every right to talk about this, saying, you know, she has her songs and stuff and this is what I have, okay? All right, that's it, all right? So basically he was letting us know that he's about to go in, and boy did he. You all remember Ariana's Vogue interview where she called their relationship a distraction, frivolous, and fun? Well, he has something to say about that too. He said, can you imagine if I did that? My career would be over tomorrow. If I spray painted myself brown and hopped on the cover of Vogue magazine and just started on my ex. He even gave an example saying he would be in trouble if he said he was, quote, her because I was bored until Fortnite came out. He then called out the fact that she didn't get any backlash. Instead, she, quote, won Billboard's Woman of the Year, and I got called Butthole Eyes by BarstoolSports.com. You have to watch the whole special to see everything he said, but he also talks about how he feels regarding Ariana discussing his size, and pretty much said she blew things out of proportion and says she just has very little hands. And then he says, she's a genius. Remember this, she's a very smart person, okay? She did that so every girl that sees my for the rest of my life is disappointed. But he did clarify that these are just jokes, hoping to curb backlash from diehard Arianators. We couldn't include all of the content that he said about Ari because there is some more not safe for work stuff, but check it out to see everything he says. He's a comedian. I didn't take offense to it. You know, he's talking about his life, and a lot of comedians talk about their life and make jokes. I didn't see a lot of backlash online, obviously.
Yeah.
But he did say, like I said in there, he said that it was all fun and jokes, so we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right, Susan, what is it time for?
I don't have a watch on.
It's time for the final
rundown. 1.5 minutes on the clock.
Taylor Swift.
Yes, we've almost got the Man music video, you guys. This is not a drill. Taylor shared an incredible teaser that has us so excited for the music video that will drop tomorrow. Tay shared this clip to Instagram with the caption, oh man, music video tomorrow at 7 a.m. Eastern, and I'm gonna be chatting, answering your questions, mansplaining the video on YouTube, starting an hour before at 6 a.m. We seriously cannot wait for this. This one is certainly gonna be a gem because Taylor also directed it, so stay tuned for that.
Yes, stay tuned for that, but we must move on because we were blessed with more amazing BTS content today, with the boys joining James Corden for his carpool karaoke segment, and we're not gonna lie, this is one of our favorite carpool karaoke sessions yet. Among the songs that the boys jammed out to were Bruno Mars and Cardi B's Finesse remix, and it's so fun to watch. Take a look. Fans and us included are loving it, and so are Cardi B and Bruno Mars, who shared some love for the boys' clip on Twitter. Cardi reshared the clip to Twitter with a love heart emoji, and then followed up with another tweet with the gift saying, me homeless cause Hobie and June took my job. Bruno Mars also tweeted, thanks fellas.
Honestly, this is my favorite, one of my favorite carpool karaoke's.
Yes.
Make sure you check it out, it is so good. Now, while we're talking about music, we have some very exciting music news of our own. I wish I could say we were going on carpool karaoke.
Oh.
We're not going on carpool karaoke, but we might one day because Clevver Music is relaunching next month in March 2020.
Yes.
If you don't know what that is, head over to Clevver Music. We'll put a link below. It's actually another Clevver channel, which is dedicated to music.
Yeah.
And it's coming back bigger and better than ever next month.
Tune in.
Tune in. All right, you guys, that is it for today's episode of The Derb. But before we go, we have some questions.
I want to know what you guys think about Charlotte's response now that she has said that she really was just walking to meet a friend. Let us know, do you still think it's fake? I don't, but comment below in the comment section below.
Yes, and also while we're talking about music and singing, you guys, what did you think of BTS's Carpool Karaoke? It's so good. I'm hoping you have seen it. If you haven't yet, make sure you watch the full clip. Come back and let us know what your favorite part was.
Yes, and we'll be back here tomorrow.
Bye, guys.
But wait, before you go, click right over here to watch yesterday's episode of DHR. It was a good one, guys.
It's such a good one. And you need to hit that subscribe button if you haven't before, because we're going to be doing some carpool karaoke, maybe?
No,
Probably not, but
probably
just
not.
hit the subscribe.
Just subscribe.